Good evening, everyone. I'm back again for another session of serial killers. This lady I'm doing is Alice Kyteler, or Kyteler, and her real name is actually Dame Alice Kyteler. And she was born in 1260, the year 1260, and she died after 1324. And she was one of the first recorded person condemned for witchcraft. She fled the country to either England or to Flanders. And after that, there was no record after her escape from prosecution. Her servant, Petronilla de Meath, was flogged and tortured and burnt to death at the stake, November 3rd, 1324. After confessing to heretical crimes after being tortured. Kyteler and her followers were alleged to have committed. Alice been married 4 times to D. Williams Outlaw, number 1, William Outlaw, 2, Adam D. Blund, 3, Richard D. Bell, 4, Sir James Lepore. And Alice and her uh, second husband, Adam Lepore, were accused of murder. He She is the ringman Williams Kyteler and his accomplice after they stole money from Alice and Adam. And when they stole money, these people they they stole money from Alice and Adam. So that's what they say. Adam and Alice were accused of murder. So either way, I don't know. So anyway, 7. That's not it. Alice, the phrase poisoner, actually, the phrase poisoner was tied to being a witch because for the connections of her herbalism and witchcraft. Alice Kyteler motives is she been married to wealthy men. When each one dies, she receives money from dead people. Ledrad made bunch of attempts to arrest Alice, even going so far to go higher up people, but no good enough cause Kyteler called on the assistance of powerful friends to hide her. After some months of stalemate, one of the Kyteler's servants, Petrolina de Meath, was tortured and confessed to participating in witchcraft. And for 6 out of 7 of the crimes above. This is how they do this. They made offerings of 3 cocks and certain dead men called Robert, son of Art, from the depths of the underworld. She just poured out the cock's blood, cut the animals into pieces, and mixed the intestines with spiders and other black worms like scorpions and a herb called milfoil, and other herbs and horrible worms. So she put this together, mixture in a pot with the brains and clothes of a boy who had died without baptism, and the head of a robber who had been decapitated. Their demons are three black men. How they torture and flogs and they burn to the stakes. That's what they do. They burn to the stakes, and that's one thing I would never do is get burnt by the stakes. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So formal charges were brought to them against Kyteler. She was accused of number one, denying the power of Christ and the church during the point of revocation of faith was interrupted as a shift in worship the devil. 2. Sacrificing animals in her support. Suppose the demon's lover, Robert or Robin, son of art. 3. Asking demons for advice on witchcraft. 4. Having a sexual relationship with a incubus Robin Artisan. It was alleged that Robin Artisan often took the form of animals or an Ethiopian when engaging with Kyteler. 5. Holding cover meetings and burning candles in the churches at night without permission. This group included Robert of Bristol, Penderola de Mills, Penderola's daughter Sarah, John, Ellen Seacrock, Gail Rossi, Antigona Lang, Eve de Brownstone, William de Payne de Baldy, and Alice Fairbury, making dark magic based powder and ointments of potions from her connections of her herbalism and witchcraft. Alice and Kyteler motives would have been married to wealthy men and died. Multiple alarming ingredients including but not limited to body parts of unbaptized children, which kind of scares me, worms, a skull, and a chicken insides, intestines, if anybody doesn't know. It was alleged that said potions were used to corrupt her husbands, bewitching and killing her husbands, to take their money for herself and her son William Outlaw. Before sentencing, Kyteler, along with Pensacola de Mays' daughter Sarah, escaped. There are no records of her life after her escape, and her date of death is unknown, and along with the location of her burial. So, well, that means she was born in 1260 and she died after 1324. So there's no record of them. So after that, which kind of Scary, eh? With Petalotus, the daughter Sarah escaped. There are no records of her life after the escape, and her date of birth and unknown. Well, Alice just three husbands did not raise any accusations or concerns against her regarding of her other regarding witchcraft or her responsibility of the deaths of her other husbands. Legrand raised suspicions about the last husband, John John Lepore, became 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 sick from her poison. Lepore would have lived for decades after 1324. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about this girl. So basically, I would have to say, she's probably one of the worst serial killers. I can't say that by doing witchcraft. Witchcraft isn't a crime, but back then it was. It's not a crime. For being a witchcraft, being a witch, you could be. There's a difference between a good witch and a dark witch. This is a dark witch. My wife is a good witch, and my wife's been born October 31st, and she's a good witch. And she doesn't do anything but like what she has done. And then all the people that have been put to death, they did floggings and burnt to the stake, and that's what they do back then. And it was back in Ireland. That is, I don't know. I don't know what it, it even all came to the end when Dartmouth stabbed to death. He would invite young boys before sodomizing them, then dishonoring his victims and husbands and anything that you want to call it. So, when making poison, hmm, that kind of interests me when I meet, if I want to make poisons, you know. But I'm not going to. And the last serial killer I did was, I think he's the one that made poison. So, and there was even a recipe about poisons on the other one. So be careful of whoever want to make poisons. Um, that's all I can say is be careful. And whatever I can say, don't try this at home. So being a witch like this one, the Black Witch, especially getting charged for witchcraft, get it burnt to the stake. But see, after she left, she got she escaped from prosecution. Nobody knows. They charged her with witchcraft, murder, and everything to do with the witchcraft. And till this day, nobody knows where she is. If she died, don't know where the burial is, and I'm pretty sure she died because it's after 1324 year. So, hey, as a joke, I would have to say, hey, she could be still alive, but she's not. But thank you very much, and you guys have a good night.